Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oracle Mom Cafe podcast. I am your host, Tony Lynn, and today we are just pausing and looking at our card and how it applies to our life. So, if you are just listening, I will describe the card to you, but if you can see the card, then you can see all the colors. The card that we're using today is Shadow Work Oracle Cards, and it says, Face your inner demons. Don't be afraid of darkness. There's a light nearby. Transform and integrate. This card has a young person sitting on top of like a totem pole, and there's lots of different colors all around them. And the person's kind of in the dark, and the land around them is kind of in the dark, but the sky is full of colors and stars and just beautiful chakra energy. So, what this card is basically saying to you is don't deny the things that you don't like about yourself or you want to change about yourself. Kind of like the skeletons in the closet energy. Facing your demons, or not necessarily like demons, as it could be just facing the things that try to keep you bound or try to keep you from fully loving yourself completely. When we face our demons or our parts of us that may have been caused from trauma, insecurities, other people's behaviors, past traumas, past life situations, when we face these things, which is known as the shadow, when we sit down with them, they are very uncomfortable to connect with. A lot of times we make excuses for why we do things because the excuse is just so much easier to deal with than actually taking the work to do the shadow work. But when we take the time to actually sit down with ourselves, face ourselves again and again in the areas that we know are our weakest spots, then we are able to understand why those areas are there, where their roots are, and we're able to track those roots back to where they began. And when we track those demons or darkness or shadows back to where they began, that is when we can see why they're there, how they're affecting us, how we've grown with these things attached to us, and how we can release those the healthiest way possible so that we can move forward without having anything attached to us that's pulling us in the past, that's keeping us from being able to move forward. It doesn't mean that it has to be scary. It all depends on what it is that you're facing. For some people, it could be a very dramatic situation, and you don't want to face these kind of things alone if it is really something that's very hard for you to do. There are support groups. There are online groups that you can join. You can go to a place in person and join. I know there's like victim centers that you can go to where you can actually sit down with other people who have been in the same situation as you, and you can talk about these things together and you can support each other. For some of you, you may not have the support around you that you truly need to work through these situations. And you might have people that make fun of you or use these situations to their advantage or use these situations to belittle you. Whatever the situation is, always know that you can always turn to source. You can always turn to prayer. You can always go inward into your heart space. Take time in the meditation. You can turn to the Bibles. There's different Bibles that you can turn to for support and guidance. You can also turn to energy work such as Reiki, musical support, like using frequencies to help you, tuning fork frequencies to help you. You can turn to exercise. I know personally, I have been through a lot of trauma, more than one person should have to endure. And throughout my life, the trauma has led me to many different paths where I finally decided that enough was enough. I wanted to reclaim my life and reclaim my happiness. I started energy work, and that was when I really was able to do the work of facing all of my shadows, facing them, sitting with them, not running from them, not being afraid of them, not denying them, but actually sitting with each and every one until I no longer needed to sit with them anymore. And by doing this, I was able to love myself on a different level, heal myself, forgive myself, and call back my power so that nobody was able to use anything that I have ever experienced against me. And I think that's one of the biggest things about our demons is we try to hide the dark shadow parts of us because you might be ashamed or you might not know how to love yourself the right way, and you don't want people to know these parts about you because it in return can be used as like a overhead. But once you set with yourself and once you heal yourself and you work through all of these transformations, nothing can be held over top of you because you faced them. So you have an understanding. You have a story behind each and every one of them. So if anybody tries to pull you back or use anything against you, you're going to have that story to tell that explains why it was there, how you faced it, and how you released it and where it came from. When you do that, you empower yourself. So this card is really telling you that if you want to get to where you want to get to, then you have to do the work to get you there. And you got to do the work the right way. There's no cutting corners. When you're ready to do the transformation and you really want to do the work, you can't fight it. Fighting it is not going to solve the problem. Fighting it is not going to put you on the path of healing. You cannot heal and yet refuse to face certain things that need to be healed in order to make that transformation. And the shadows are usually something that come into your life to really help you look deeper at who you truly are. You are constantly being looked at in a totally different way based off of who is looking at you. Everybody that sees you in a different light based off of how the experience was with you. And your shadows, whatever the negatives are, if they're not balanced, if you're not walking in both of them with authenticity, then that can also affect the way that you interact and your path on certain perspectives. You want to make sure that you are knowing who you are by healing who you are that is being suppressed in the darkness. Go set with yourself, become friends with the parts of you that need healing. And when you do, you're going to see those doors open in so many new ways. And all that healing is going to be worth it. And your story is going to motivate and help someone else do the same thing. All of us have something, and all of us need healing. But each of us have to do it on our own time and in our own way. The main thing is to follow your heart and to do what matters most to you. Where do you want to be and how do you want to get there? And what do you need to do to help you face the things that you need to face to overcome what is blocking you from succeeding? That is what your message is today. Love yourself in this situation. Set with yourself and set with the shadows within. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to love yourself. It's time for you to call back your peace, your happiness, and your path to freedom. I hope this card has helped you. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.